But in the process of getting Between the Lines animations up and running, you had some things happen earlier this year that affected your mental health.
Yeah, so that's pretty much why I'm here. It wasn't really in the process of getting everything up and running. It was more so I'd already kind of like made it per se, but then like once you make it to a certain level, you have these higher expectations of yourself. So I just had a big sense of like I needed to control everything, and once I couldn't be fun, I couldn't be happy. I just like was constantly working all the time. If I was chilling, that's time away from my goals that are going to get me somewhere in 20 years from now or something like that. Like my biggest fear is pretty much I don't want to look back when I'm like 50 years old and be like, damn, I could have become something, but then I didn't because I was partying or I was having fun or something like that, right? So that sense of like I didn't want to like let my future die by just like taking it easy. That kind of resulted in me kind of getting a lot of anxiety attacks, which has anyone here had panic attacks or anxiety attacks before? So, yeah, a lot of people, they're horrible. They're horrible. And I've never had them before in my life until this year with my first one. And let me go into the story. Yeah, so the first one I had, I was just, we lived in Cancun at the time, and I just looked in the mirror, and I heard this voice, and it pretty much just told me that I was going to die soon. And it was a weird thought that I've never really had before. And then I went, then like pretty much just like my body started going into full panic mode. My heart was beating, my throat was closing up, I thought I was choking. I was just like sitting in the cafeteria with my friends and like I need medical attention, like there's something seriously wrong with me. And then after lunch we went back to the house and I was just trying to get this to stop, you know, and I just felt this sense of hopelessness. And then eventually I just heard this, like we lived on the 16th floor and I just had all these weird thoughts going through my brain. I had like one thought was just like jump from the balcony, you know, and I've never had like any suicidal thoughts or anything before. But this kind of just like, I was like, that's a dumb idea, you know, like I'm not gonna do that. But then it just kept like, it just like started overpowering it. I started getting scared. I was like, I don't want to die, but like, is that what I'm gonna do? Like, I was like trying to think, like maybe I should lock myself in the room, like protect myself from myself or something. And luckily my friend was in the living room, and this is the weird thing about panic attacks too, is like, I had friends all around me, like I was in a room with other people and I just like, had all this weird stuff internally going on, but I just asked my friend, I was like, I need some words of encouragement. And what he did was he just put on a meditation for me and we just kind of meditated together and I just curled up in a blanket and I just meditated, and then once that ended, I just pretty much like fell asleep and then it passed. And I thought that was the end of it, and then it just kind of kept happening every single day for like weeks at a time. And I just like couldn't go outside because I thought people were gonna kill me, and I thought I developed like schizophrenia or bipolar or something, because like I had all these paranoid thoughts that like someone was out to get me. I couldn't go outside. I was constantly having these panic attacks, and yeah, it was rather horrible. And I was like looking to get onto drugs or something to stop this. But then I ended up deciding. My buddy had done cognitive behavioral therapy, and he told me about it. So I just I was like, yeah, like I'll do anything it takes to not have to live like this, right? Because I can't, like I don't want this to happen anymore, right? So I went and saw a cognitive behavioral therapist in Cancun. And yeah, we pretty much resolved the issue in like 3 weeks of therapy, pretty much, and I've been good ever since. So.
Wow.
So just out of curiosity, the time between your first panic attack and you actually going to see the cognitive therapist, how much time was that?
I would say that would be about four weeks or something. So it, yeah. I thought I could beat it on my own. I was Googling like how to get over this and stuff like that, and then one day I was just sitting in the office and I thought I was having a heart attack. I ended up in the hospital, and yeah, pretty much at that point I was like, all right, this isn't getting better, and I need to deal with this immediately. So.
And what was going on with your business at the time while all this was manifesting?
Everything was going pretty good.
You had a team behind you to help just manage everything. Like how were you able to sort of keep the business afloat while you were managing all these other personal issues?
Yeah, I mean it's not really that time consuming of a thing. Like a panic attack takes like an hour or two. So, but yeah, pretty much like I had a team. The company was going good, but it was pretty much just like I had a bunch of big ambitions that I wanted to do, and the problem was I was just trying to control everything so that I could achieve what I wanted to achieve, and that need for control is kind of, I feel, what was making me have these panic attacks, because like if something didn't go right, it's like damn, like this is gonna like start a chain reaction of everything going wrong, right? And I was just trying to control everything. So when I was in therapy, I was just pretty much learning to just let go of control, and it's not a big deal, and like let things happen kind of as they come.
Was this your first time trying any kind of therapy when you saw this person?
Yes.
And what exactly is cognitive therapy? If you can explain it.
Yeah, it's pretty much just taking a look at your thoughts that you have, like your core beliefs, and just sort of deciding, is this a thought that helps you, or is it a thought that is hurting you? And is there a way for you to, like say you have a thought, I guess one example that they have is say you have a girlfriend and you call her and she doesn't answer the phone. An immediate thought is she could be out cheating on you, and you could go leave your job and go try and catch her cheating on you. Or someone else, you could call her and then she doesn't answer, and you think that she got in an accident, and you're worried about her, and you want to go like run home and go check on her. But like the reality is, she's probably just showering, she's spending time with her family, there's all these weird stories that we tell ourselves, and we don't know if they're true. So it's pretty much just like figuring out what your thoughts are throughout the day and figuring out a way to rewire them to be like, okay, is this true? Like, do I need to worry about this thing? Like, what are the chances that this horrible thing that's happening is actually a fact, you know? And for the most part, most of the dumb things you think are just like in your head, everything's going good, you know? There's nothing really to worry about.
So would you say it kind of gives you a roadmap to sort of dissect what's happening and bring you back center, as opposed to just going to a therapist and talking unlimited? Is that?
Yeah, it's sort of, you have to kind of get to the bottom of it, where you have to figure out what is triggering these things for happening for you. So I had a bunch of stuff happen in like the 6 months leading up to this that like sort of put my mind on the wrong track. And then it just sort of spiraled out of control. So I had to like go back and figure out what were these thoughts and why this was happening, and then figure out, and then it's like, then you can see the root of the problem and you can start working to kind of repair it, I guess.
Jeff, what would be the advice you'd give to yourself a year before everything happened with your anxiety attacks and going for therapy?
Yeah, so I like what Laurel said about the getting mentors and stuff, but I think the main advice I would give to myself would just be to set your goals and everything, but then it's not up to you how it works out. Like whether it works out or not is not important. You just have to. The journey is going to be important, so you don't try to force everything. Don't try to get to this mountain. Like take the right actions to do it, but let go of the importance of getting there, and just allow it to come or not come. It doesn't matter. In the end, we're going to die, and no one's going to remember us. So.
Thank you. Bravo.
One thing that I would say that just unites what all these wonderful speakers have to share is that shit is real.